Hello and welcome to Easy Money with Don Anders. Joined today with Tom Hegna. Tom is a best-selling author. One of his books is "Don't Worry, Retire Happy." And specifically in this video, I want to talk to you, Tom, about I've heard you talk about the three stages in retirement and what a happy retirement looks like. And I know that you do a lot of research that goes into your books, and this is kind of your expertise. So let's talk about, first off, what a happy retirement looks like, and then also what are the different stages inside that happy retirement.
Yeah, I think I mentioned in one of the previous videos, the Wall Street Journal headline, "The secret to a happy retirement is friends, neighbors, and a fixed annuity." And what the Wall Street Journal looked at was who are the happiest people in retirement. And they found people surrounded by their friends, surrounded by their families, who had guaranteed paychecks every single month were the happiest. And if you think about it, it makes sense, because who are the happiest retired people you know? It's your retired teachers, retired government workers, military, firefighters, policemen. It's people with pensions. And so happiness in retirement is tied to almost 100% to guaranteed lifetime income, not assets. Who are the most miserable people you know? They're loaded. They got assets out the wazoo, but they're losing money here, they're losing money here, they're losing money here. Assets make people miserable in retirement. What makes people happy is guaranteed lifetime income. Now, there are three phases. See, people think retirement's going to be 30 or 40 years of golf, tennis, pickleball, and line dancing. That's not true. You're going to go through these three different phases. The first phase is what I call the go-go years. Now, the go-go years, you're playing golf, you're playing tennis, you're playing pickleball, you're traveling the world. Every day it's happy hour somewhere. That's the go-go years. But make no mistake about it, the go-go years are going to be followed by the slow-go years. Now, the slow-go years, you can still do everything in the go-go. You just don't want to anymore. Fact is, you don't want to go downtown after 4:30 because Dad can't see when it's dark out. That's the slow-go years. And the slow-go years are going to be followed by the no-go years. And the no-go years are those years when you're probably not leaving the building till you're leaving the building, if you know what I'm talking about. So we got go-go, slow-go, no-go. This is what I learned watching my parents go through these three phases. I learned that the go-go years is all about income, not assets, income, which is why, nearly 100% of my purchases are going for income in my go-go years. I learned that the slow-go years is all about long-term care, and long-term care is the number one thing that most people forget about that can wipe them out. In Paychecks and Playchecks, I got a chapter on long-term care. It's called "What's Your Plan?" What's your plan? Because if you've ever heard me speak before, I brag about my plan. What's my plan? I never have to go to a nursing home ever. I get to stay in my house till the day I die. The nurse has come to me. If I need a walk-in bathtub, they build it for me. If I need a bar on the wall, they put it in there for me. If I need a ramp for a wheelchair, they put that in for me. And so when people say, "I don't want any of that nursing home insurance," I say, exactly. I call it anti-nursing home insurance. See, my policy is long-term care with home health care. I get to stay in my house. But then people say, "Oh, that long-term care insurance is too expensive." Well, here's what I have to say. If you think long-term care insurance is expensive, man, you ought to try not having it. That can wipe you out. Look, I made my parents buy long-term care insurance 18 years ago. They didn't want to. It's too expensive. We'll never need it. It's an insurance company ripoff. My dad said all those words to me. I made them buy it. They were both in assisted living, $10,000 a month. Do you understand there were years my dad didn't make $10,000 a year? $10,000 a month. I can't imagine their retirement if they had those policies. Now, if you have somebody who can't qualify for long-term care because they just can't qualify medically, then I say, they should get an annuity that brings them a bunch of income in their 70s and 80s. Any plan is better than no plan, but you got to have a plan. And the no-go years, that's all about life insurance. And people say, "Oh, life insurance has nothing to do with retirement." Well, we did a whole section, a whole video on life insurance and retirement. But besides all the tax-free income that I'm going to get from my life insurance, I also bought a policy for my kids. Because, see, most people are not enjoying their retirements because they say, "Oh, we got to leave some money to Johnny and Susie." So they deny themselves a retirement to leave money to their kids. I tell people, don't do that. You need to spend all your money. Leave them life insurance. And then I use me as an example. I'll give it again. We got 4 kids, and one day we're sitting around saying, "How much do we leave the kids?" My wife said, "I don't know. What do you think?" I said, "Well, if we bought a $1 million second to die life insurance policy, name the 4 kids the beneficiary, when we both die, they're going to get $1 million tax-free. That's $250,000 apiece, plus whatever's left over. Let's start there." So we bought that $1 million second to die life insurance policy, named the 4 kids the beneficiary. That policy is completely paid up. The total cost of that $1 million policy was $150,000. So think about that. That's 15 cents on the dollar. For 15 cents on the dollar, we get to transfer $1 million tax-free to our kids. But the best part is we get to spend all the rest of that money. And that's what I would encourage people. So the go-go years is all about income. The slow-go years is all about long-term care. The no-go years is all about life insurance. And that's how you get the most for the least in retirement.
And so if someone's about to retire, those are the 3 different stages you really want to take into consideration. Because a lot of times they're just thinking about getting retired the day that they retire, right? They're not thinking about 10 or 15 or 20 or 30 years down the road. So let's talk a little bit. So we had a whole video on annuities. We're going to go ahead and link that up here. Let's jump to the long-term care, okay? Because this is a hot topic, right? So a lot of times people say, well, long-term care is too expensive, or long-term care, you can't get it when you're older in life. Number one, what's the optimal age to buy long-term care? And do you recommend traditional long-term care? Do you recommend a IUL or a life insurance that has a long-term care policy attached? Or do you recommend an annuity that has long-term care benefits?
Okay, so what age should you get it? You should get it today. Because you can't buy long-term care insurance. Nobody can sell it to you. You have to qualify for it. You qualify for it with your health. I got mine when I was 42. I know many people who get it for their kids when they're 17 or 18. Get it when you can. So don't wait. Don't listen to Susie Orman say age 60 or Dave Ramsey. That's ridiculous. So many people are disabled by the age of 60 and they can't buy it. So get it today. If you haven't done it today, do it tomorrow. But you got to do it. As far as which type of policy, that's why I think it's so important to work with a financial professional. Now, a traditional long-term care policy is going to probably have the richest benefits. It's also probably going to be the most expensive for you. And as we've seen in the past, some of those companies have been raising their premiums. So a lot of people have kind of shied away from long-term care insurance. That's the policy I own, but you can't even buy the one I got. I got unlimited benefits. I got a Cadillac plan from way back when. So many people now are buying life insurance with a long-term care benefit, and I'll just do something impromptu here. I don't know if you can see this, but I do this all the time when I was with people. That pen isn't working. I just draw 3 circles. The first circle is, let's say somebody's got $100,000 down at Bank of America or something. They say, well, I don't really need this money. If I need long-term care, I'm going to use this money. Okay, so this is $100,000. If you put in this life insurance policy, it's going to earn an interest rate that's higher than what you're getting at Bank of America. It's going to grow tax deferred, and it has a full money back guarantee. So if you ever want your money out, you can get your $100,000 out. But if you don't need it and you die, I draw a bigger circle. There's a death benefit of roughly double. It depends on your age and everything. But let's say this was $100,000. The death benefit is going to be close to $200,000. But what if you don't die? What if you need long-term care? I draw a bigger circle. It's going to be almost $300,000 of long-term care coverage. So this one policy does 3 things. It's an emergency fund. It's a tax-free death benefit to your kids, or it's a long-term care benefit for you that comes out tax-free as well. So that's the life insurance side. And that premium's guaranteed never to go up. That's another good thing about
That's
that.
actually the number one life insurance that my company sells. Because
Yeah.
if you have a bunch of, especially if you're someone who kind of one of those hoarders of cash, right? And you have a bunch of money sitting in your savings, it's guaranteed return of premium. So you're going to get back the same amount or more as if it was sitting in cash. Like Tom said, if you pass away, there's going to be a bigger benefit that goes tax-free to your beneficiaries. Or if you need it for long-term care, we've seen it 6, 7, 10 times the amount that you would put in. And the other option was it was just going to sit in your savings doing nothing.
Right.
And that's going to be
if you did have
up by long-term care eventually anyways.
It would be eaten totally up by long-term care. And so that gives you some leverage. And then the third thing is there are annuities out there that offer long-term care coverage. So even if somebody is medically, they just can't get they can't get life insurance, they can't get long-term care insurance, they can get an annuity. Now there might be a 12-month or 24-month waiting period before the benefit can kick in, but that's the worst case. I mean, you just have to wait. You can't buy it the day before you go in a nursing home and turn it on. But as long as you do that, it can give you a double or even triple of the monthly income that you get normally from your annuity. Now, you got to look at the details. Does that end once your money's gone, or does it keep going and all this stuff? But that, again, it comes back to, well, that's why you need to work with a financial professional, because I don't think the average person can weed through all of this stuff.
And a lot of times those long-term care policies won't even have really fees on them, right? So it's kind of all built into the contract. Those alternative. So my recommendation is sit down with somebody. I agree that long-term care is very important. And then the very last thing is life insurance. We're not going to get into that in this video because, like Tom said, we did a pretty extensive video on the types of life insurance that you might want to consider during your retirement. We'll go ahead and link that above as well. So Tom, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. My recommendation is look up Tom's PBS special. That was Don't Worry, Retire Happy, correct?
Don't Worry, Retire Happy, yes.
Yep. And then also we're going to go ahead and link below a copy of his, or how to get his book on Amazon. My recommendation is read it. If you're in retirement or approaching retirement, by a lot of people consider that one of the best books that you can read that will educate you on retirement, not just someone's opinion on how to retire, but you actually go into reports and you go into statistically why you would want to do certain things in retirement. I appreciate your help. I appreciate the videos, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want more information about retirement, making money easy, investing in general, please consider subscribing. You can do so right here. And if you want more information and more videos that I did with Tom, go ahead and click here. That's the playlist. We did about 5 videos all about retirement, talk about life insurance, annuities, how to retire happy. I hope you enjoy it. Have a great day.